making sure that this is a secure area as well. The mayor is in the courtroom right now, right in 36th District Court, so he obviously came in a back
different
door.
entrance, yes.
So let's listen in.
This is case number 0858169, People State of Michigan versus defendant number 1, Kwame Kilpatrick. Defendant is charged with count 1, conspiracy, penalty 5 years and or $10,000. Count 2, obstruction of justice, penalty 5 years and or $10,000. Count 3, common law offenses, misconduct in office, penalty 5 years and or $10,000. Count 4, common law offenses, misconduct in office, penalty 5 years and or $10,000. Count 5, perjury, court proceeding, penalty 15 years. Count 6, perjury, court proceeding, penalty 15 years. Count 9, perjury other than court proceeding, penalty 15 years. Count 10, perjury other than court proceeding, penalty 15 years. Defendant is present.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is James Thomas. I'm appearing on behalf of the defendant with Mr. Mitchell as well as Mr. Webb. I filed a motion for Mr. Webb to appear pro hoc vice. I know Mr. Webb. I've done cases with Mr. Webb. He's been practicing for over 35 years, more years than we want to remember. He's certainly well qualified, and he is a member in good standing of the Illinois Bar. I'd ask that you allow him to appear in this case.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. May it please the Court. Robert Moran, Assistant Prosecutor. We have no objection for the purpose of this proceeding, Your Honor.
Good. Motion granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
There are two observations or two objections that we need to place in the two notifications we need to place in the record before a court does the arraignment. The first, as it relates to a potential conflict of interest. I know that it was placed on the record for the arraignment for Ms. Beatty, but it occurs to me that Mr. Morgenroth, who represents Ms. Beatty in this criminal matter, represents this defendant in a civil matter, the same civil matter. So I'm just notifying the court that there's a potential conflict of interest on both defendants because of that civil representation. The second notification requires notification that my boss, the Wayne County prosecutor, made notification to the chief judge of this court of another potential conflict, and that is this entire court, because there is one, possibly two, current sitting judges on this court who are potential witnesses for the preliminary examination.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. Both of those matters are noted for this record. We are going to proceed with the arraignment.
Your Honor, at least as far as the second notification, I'm just going to mention as part of the notification that we just found that's out today, that there had been this ex parte communication with the chief judge, which, if that did lead to somehow the disqualification of this entire bench, that may raise certain issues which I believe should not be appropriately raised here today, but I don't want to waive any of those issues. So I accept the notification and will raise the appropriate response in the appropriate form.
So noted.
Thank you.
And Judge, we received a copy of the complaint and information in this case. We waive a formal reading. He's going to stand mute to the charges, and we'd ask the court to set a reasonable bond.
Thank you. Not guilty plea is entered. As to exam date, there had been discussion of June 9th for exam. That is exceeding the 14-day rule. I'd ask you to go ahead and hear your client on that.
Mr. Mayor, you understand that you have a right to a preliminary examination within 14 days. We have matters that we have to attend to, and there's discovery materials that we have to review. You can waive that, and then we can have it scheduled for what we've agreed to as June the 9th. We'd ask you to waive the 14-day rule. Will you do so?
Sure.
All right.
Court satisfied there's been a knowing and voluntary waiver. Exam June 9, 8:30 a.m. at the 36th District Courthouse. As to bond, I am going to release the defendant on personal bond, $75,000 personal, understanding there's no objection from any party in that regard. As to conditions of bond, as with any defendant in any felony case, defendant will be restricted to the state of Michigan while this case goes forward. However, given the position, defendant shall have the right to travel anywhere within the United States, not just continental, while this case goes forward without permission, but with advance notice to the offices of pretrial services as to specific times and whereabouts. That is the condition on personal bond while this case goes forward. Have I expressed the condition accurately as to our prior conversations?
You have, Your Honor.
People agree with that, Your Honor, yes.
Very good.
The only other, I think, was also as far as non-reporting by phone. Is that needed?
That is correct. There will be no reporting.
Okay, people have no objection to that as well.
Unless there's anything further, that would conclude this arraignment. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Matter's concluded.
Take care.
Do you have papers for him to sign?
Is it?